Okay, I am so glad, so glad that this movie was animated because I have a terrifying fear of birds. I am absolutely petrified by birds, and the birds in this movie absolutely freaked me out. I realized that the title says The Boy and the Heron. I didn't necessarily know what a heron was. I didn't see the trailer for this movie. All I saw was the poster of the boy, and I knew that a heron was going to be in this movie. I didn't know what a heron was. I didn't check out any trailers. I just knew Hayao. Oh, I hope I'm saying his name right. Hayao Miyazaki is releasing a new movie by Studio Ghibli, and it's his last one, and I just had to go see it. I had no information about this movie whatsoever, but there are too many birds in this movie. Too many birds in this movie, and while this movie plays as a mystical, majestical dream, and it definitely is that, this would have been my nightmare. This movie, 1000%, if I would have dreamt this myself, I would be scarred for life. I'd be Stephen King, just coming up with a bunch of fucked up shit, because there were too many birds in this movie. But nonetheless, this is The Boy and the Heron, and it was a damn good movie. So here's my review. Hey guys, it's your guy in the chair here, and this is my review of The Boy and the Heron, starring Luca Padovin, I believe his name is, Christian Bale, Robert Pattinson, William Dafoe, Gemma Chan, Dave Bautista, an immensely stacked cast, and was directed by none other than Hayao Miyazaki. I know his last name is Miyazaki. I'm messing up his first name very badly. I'm just gonna call him Hayao, but that's probably not right at all. So I'm just gonna stick to Miyazaki. So look, this is Miyazaki's final film, and this story follows a 12-year-old boy who, after the death of his mother, or the supposed death of his mother, in the war, he moves to a new town with his dad and this new lady who's supposed to be his mom, and then some heron shows up and starts to tell him, hey, your mom actually might not be dead, she actually might be alive, and that introduces him to go follow this heron and find a brand new world just full of crazy, wondrous, mystical birds and a lot of adventure. And look, this movie was absolutely gorgeous. While I will probably attest to my fear of birds a lot throughout this review, this movie was absolutely beautiful. I mean, to start with the animation style itself, this movie is just painted, I'm not painted, but it looks like it's just been painted and just made into a very beautiful folklore or fairy tale, and it's just being told to you in the most beautiful way. It's like a very beautiful, it's only, I would say, a very beautiful, messed up bedtime story, but it's really only messed up because it was just, for me, it's just too many birds. But it's a very beautiful bedtime story, like something you would hear as a child and a tale that you would just necessarily like run with. That's what this movie plays off as, and it's just absolutely gorgeous to look at. Like, me and my friend were in this movie, we were high as a kite, and like I said, I didn't watch a trailer for this movie at all. And yet, like, everything going on in this movie just had me, like, just, my eyes were just, like, so big, and I was just so amazed at everything that was going on screen. I'm just looking, and I'm just like, wow. Like, sometimes I'm even, like, just getting lost in what's going on in the movie itself, because I'm just looking at everything going on in the background, everything going on around the entire movie itself, and it just had me in just complete astonishment. Like, I was just amazed at the animation of this movie. It was so beautiful, and then on top of that, the actual story itself, it's really hard to follow in the beginning, at least for me, because like I said, I didn't watch a trailer for this film, so I didn't necessarily know what it was really about, and I didn't even know what a heron was, because I don't like birds, so why would I know what one of those are? And just while I'm really trying to sit there, trying to grasp what's really going on in this movie, it's just like, once I actually understood, okay, this is what's going on in the film, and this is how, you know, things are, you don't necessarily know how it's going to play out, but you're watching everything play out. It's like, this is a very beautifully told story. And not only that, the voice casting in this movie is amazing. I saw the dub version. I definitely want to make sure I go see the sub version, but due to the amazing English voice cast that they have in this film, I had to go see the dub version first. And I just want to give a complete shout out to Luca Padovin, who plays Mahito, our main character. He did an amazing job as this character. Mahito was a very interesting character to follow throughout the film itself. He was so just, I'll say, interesting in a way. Like, he was just a character where it's like we were just as curious as he was to find out not only if his mother is still alive, but on top of that, we just want to know what's in this world that he's just falling into. Like, what, like, it's like literally just watching a guy's dream, just watching somebody's dream just come to life and just play out. And it's like a very, very beautiful, I'll stop saying messed up because it's only messed up if you're afraid of birds, but it's a very beautiful, just mesmerizing dream that I just completely fell in love with. And like, I did not expect to like this movie as much as I did. The more it sat with me after I left the theater, me and my friend definitely agreed with each other. Like, some parts were very confusing for us, and I feel like this is a movie where you definitely need more than one watch to grasp everything that it was trying to say. But it's like, that's because you can get so lost in just not only the beautiful animations or some of the character stories, trying to guess where this thing is going next. Like, it's just so much to get wrapped up inside of. It's just such a beautiful story. It's so amazing how this movie played out. I was not expecting to like this movie as much as I did. Like, it was very, very beautiful. I absolutely need to see this thing in subbed. I'm so upset I didn't get to see this movie in IMAX because this animation would have had me absolutely. I'm so pissed. That's two movies. Well, I'm sorry. Let me finish my sentence. The animation in IMAX would have had me probably drooling, absolutely just drooling like SpongeBob and Patrick when they put on that confusion ball. Like, complete drooling. But that's two movies this year, Suzume and now The Boy and the Heron. I really wish I would have been able to see in IMAX because the animation in those movies are absolutely amazing. But like I said, the voice cast did a phenomenal job. Mark Hamill, Gemma Chan, Dave Bautista, Christian Bale. The kid from, he played in Elemental, played the water guy. I don't necessarily know his name off the top of my head right now, but his name is Mamadou Athie. Did an amazing job. Robert Pattinson as the Heron. I loved his character, loved the voice, don't know how he did it, but I was hella impressed about the way that played out and how his voice was used in the film. I loved these characters' motivations. I loved just how the movie doesn't necessarily try to present to you everything on a silver platter. Like, it definitely leaves you some room to guess, like, what's going on, and it definitely, the message is not like in the forefront of the movie. Like, it's not too obvious. Like, you know, it's definitely something that's hidden. It makes you kind of, you know, work for it as far as like trying to figure out what this movie's truly about. And once you get into the gist of what this movie is and just how amazing it is, which I think I have a grasp of it. I don't have the full grasp of what this movie is truly about, but I'll definitely be seeing this multiple times, so I will definitely know at some point. But as far as what I left with on my first viewing of this film, I was absolutely overwhelmed. It was just so much going on, and that for me, in this case, the overwhelming thing sometimes can be bad, but this is good. This is a good overwhelming because it's just so much to get caught up in. It's so much to get lost in. This is like a very beautiful acid trip. This is like a wonderfully just painted out, slowly stroked, beautiful acid trip that you are just literally like free falling and just for whatever reason there's a lot of birds that are around you, but other than that, other than my fear of birds, I absolutely adored everything about this movie. Like, it was way better than I expected. I wasn't necessarily knowing what to expect from Miyazaki's final film. Like, although this guy is a GOAT, although this guy is a legend, like, he's been making amazing Studio Ghibli films for as long as I can remember, I didn't know what to expect walking into this movie, and everybody was praising it, and I was expecting to be blown away, but whatever a more intense word or phrase for blown away is, that's what I was. This movie was absolutely gorgeous in every sense of the word. It was so, just like I said, mesmerizing. It really just had me on the edge of my seat as far as just being absolutely caught up in some beautiful animation, some gorgeous storytelling, amazing characters. Oh my god, and the score to this movie. That's why I said this movie really plays out like a melodic, just beautiful dream. The score to this movie is gorgeous. It's so peaceful, it's so calming. You're just so wrapped up in this world. Even the weird little old ladies who were creeping me out in the beginning of this movie, somehow, some way, I grew to love them. Like it made no sense. I didn't love any of these birds. I don't give a damn. The heron is not what I expected the heron to be, so I did like the heron a lot more, but as far as like all the actual birds in this movie, I hate the birds. A lot of the scenes in this movie had me nicked. And what nicked means is the DMV version of I was scared shitless. Like that is the DMV version of scared shitless. I was nicked. I was so scared of some of these birds, man. Like these birds are crazy in this movie. I promise you, if they are to ever make a remake of The Birds, that will be a movie I will never see in my life. I will never even attempt to watch the trailer. I will never try to watch that movie whatsoever, because a new, updated version of The Birds would probably send me into cardiac arrest right there in the movie theater. You don't want to see that. This movie, a couple times, with the way these birds were flying at the screen, almost had me in cardiac arrest. Like, it was like, it's not like the birds were drawn so well to look like real life. Like, no, this animation style isn't like that, up to that tier, but the birds were very good to the point where they could have me pretty freaked out. So that's a credit to the animation. Good job. I was terrified. I know that's not necessarily what you wanted people to do or wanted people to be in the theater, but you got me. I was terrified. But overall, The Boy and the Heron is a pleasant, I want to call it a pleasant surprise, because like I said, I didn't expect it to be as good as it was. Like, I expected to watch a definite good movie, but I left definitely debating that this movie should be in my top 10. My top 10 list is going to be so hard to make this year, but I'm so glad, because movies this year have just been outstanding, out of this world, and this film here is literally all that and so much more. And for all those reasons and so many more, guys, I'm going to give The Boy and the Heron a 4.5 out of 5 stars. Sorry, I burped. But 4.5 out of 5 stars. Okay, guys, so The Boy and the Heron, have you seen it? What did you think about it? Look, thank you so much for watching, guys. I really do appreciate it. Be sure to like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff, and so much more, guys. Look, this is your guy in the chair. More content coming to you soon.